Nutrition education has always been important to beef farmers and ranchers, and empowering Texans to lead healthier lives remains a top priority. Showcasing beef's role in a healthy diet is a part of all of our education opportunities. But our Grilling 101 class is one of our favorites. Jerry McPherson, Grill Master at Texas Beef Council, has taught hundreds of these classes. He will guide you through planning and hosting your very own Grilling 101.
Hi, I'm Jerry McPherson. A lot of pride comes with grilling that perfect steak or that burger. Today, not only will you feel more comfortable at the grill, but you'll be able to share this knowledge in your own programs. My goals for you today are to learn step-by-step grilling instructions. Second, to share Texas Beef Council's resources. And third, tips and tricks on conducting your own Grilling 101. So now let's get started. So the first step in the grilling process is lighting your grill. There's lots of options out on the market today, but the two most common are your gas grill and your charcoal grill. So the first thing we're going to do when we're going to light up our gas grill is make sure that we connect our hose up to our tank, but also make sure that all our knobs are in the off position and make sure that you didn't leave anything on the grill the night before. Now that we've checked our grates, our knobs are in the off position, now we can hook up our propane tank. Once you have your hose on nice and tight, now you can turn on your propane tank. So once you have your propane tank on, all your knobs are in the off position. On this particular model, all you have to do is turn the knob to the lightning bolt and then push the little button and it ignites up. Once it is lit and gets up, all you can do is shut your door and now turn your other two knobs on to the lightning bolt and it will light up. So now let's talk about a charcoal grill. I know we want to use a charcoal grill because it adds flavor to our meat, right? Instead of using a pyramid method or a chimney method of lighting our coals, we're going to teach you a new method today called the grid pattern. Usually a grid pattern is either like a 6x6 or 7x7 grid pattern, single layer on the bottom of your grill. And what dictates the size of your grid pattern is how much meat we're going to be cooking today. So just keep that in mind when we're building our grid pattern. So today we're going to use a 6x6 method. We're going to lay them down in a grid pattern. One single layer gives you about 15 to 20 minutes of heat time when you're cooking. So now that we've decided how much meat we're going to be cooking and we finished doing our grid pattern, now it's time to light our grid. So take your lighter and light it at each corner of your grid pattern. Now that we've got our coals lit, now make sure you put your grate back on top and let it burn down anything that's cooked on there the night before. Okay, now that we've let our coals burn down, now what we need to do is we need to clean our grates. Now I know a lot of you use the wire brush. Those are okay to use, but make sure that the bristles are nice and new on it and they're not falling out of your brush. If they're falling, go ahead and discard of it. But what we'd like to teach you today is using a foil ball. Take some foil, roll it up into a nice big ball, come back over here, and all you want to do with this foil ball is just get all the nice big chunks off from whatever you cooked the night before. Once you've cleaned all the big chunks off your grate, now we're ready to move on to what we call the onion method. Now we want to come back with a straight yellow onion. What you do is just cut it in half, come back, and then come right over your grate. Now you can use your tongs or you can use your knife that you cut the onion with, but today I'm just going to use my hand to scrape this nice yellow onion all over the grates and get all that nice little fine stuff that you didn't get off with the foil ball. Now that we're through cleaning our grates, now we're ready to move on to oiling our grates. Now I know a lot of you use a mop brush and you use a high heat cooking oil like canola oil or grapeseed oil. Those are great methods to put on your grates. But today, for ease and purposes, we're going to teach you about using a high heat sensitive aerosol can. Now remember, it is an aerosol can and we don't want to spray it directly into our coals because we'll flare up, right? So remember to always remove your grate, walk over to a grass area, somewhere where it will not be nice and slippery on concrete. Now let me walk you through making the perfect patty. First, you're going to need a large mixing bowl. Now we've added our ground beef to that. Now at this time we want to add our seasonings. Now remember, you also at this time can add on any diced up vegetables or corn, anything that you want to put into your patty as well. This would be the time to do it. We're going to add that into our mixture here. Now we're going to mix it up lightly but thoroughly. We're going to get it evenly in there. Now once I've mixed it, I'm going to divide my meat up into equal portions. And once I do that, now I'm ready to form my patty. We're going to make a small ball. and I'm going to flatten it out till it's about 3/4 inch thick. And then with your thumb, we need to do a small indentation in the center of that patty. The reason we do that is when you're cooking, your patty seems to puff up in the center. This will allow your patty to stay flat. Now that we finished making our patties, the next thing we need to do is we need to cover them, and then we need to stick them in the refrigerator. Now, I know a lot of times you're at a location that you don't have a refrigerator, so you can cover them, and then you can place them in an ice chest. Make sure that you have plenty of ice to keep your patties nice and cold. This will also help them keep their shape and form so they're not falling apart when you're going to place them on your grill. Now we want to check our grills, make sure we got that nice medium temperature, which is 400 to 415 degrees. So we don't have a temperature gauge here, so what we're going to teach you is the 4x4 method. What that is taking your hand 4 inches above the heat source, not the grate, but the heat source, and go 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 before you have to remove your hand. Then we know we're in that 400 to 415 degree area. Now, if you can sit there and go 1 1000, 2 1000, and you have to remove your hand, it is too hot. Let your coals burn down a little bit longer before you place your meat on it. Now, if you can go 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, and count to 10, you've got an expensive hand warmer now. You let your coals burn down too long. We're ready to place them on the grill. Now remember, when placing your patties on the grill, put them 1 inch to 1.5 inches inside those coals and leave about 1 inch in between each burger. Now that we start seeing the pulling of moisture up on top of our burgers, that's a sign for us to flip. Now that we flipped our burgers, once again, we're going to look for the pulling of moisture on top of the burger to let us know when we're ready to check the internal temperature. You want to add cheese to your burger. You need to add the cheese about 2 minutes before the correct doneness. Now remember, when cooking burgers, the internal temperature needs to reach 160 degrees. So 160 degrees is safe and savory.
Okay, now we're going to go over some tips to help your audience build a better burger. So we're going to start with ground beef, which is the star of the show. And about 1/4 pound of beef, or a 3 to 3.5 cooked burger, it's going to provide you with 25 grams of high quality protein, zinc, iron, vitamins B3, B6, B12, and selenium. You might consider trying a whole grain bun or even an English muffin as the vehicle for your burger. And we're going to start with some great toppings like avocado. Now, that creamy texture in avocado is going to give you some fiber and some folate. Next, we're going to try some tomatoes. So if you choose some fresh tomatoes, it can give you some lycopene for the day. And now we're going to add some jalapeno, which is a Texas staple. Now, this jalapeno, of course, is going to give you some spice, but the spice actually helps for your body to absorb the vitamin C that it has. Now we're going to move on to my favorite topping, which is 1 ounce of cheese. Not only does the cheese taste great, but it's a good way to get calcium in for your day. Now we're going to move on to some onions. Crunchy onions, you know if it has crunch, that it's also got some fiber in it. So the onions are going to give you fiber and some vitamin C. And then of course, I always have to have pickles on mine as well. The pickles give you that little bit of crunch, so a little bit of fiber and a little bit of vitamins A and K. And now we're going to move on to the lettuce. Now you might consider picking either romaine lettuce or some green leaf lettuce. The lettuce is going to give you some fiber, but also some vitamin A. But a good tip for your audience about lettuce is, in general, the greener that the lettuce is, the more nutrients that it has. Now, burgers often get a bad rap, but really they just need better friends. So I use this GIF that you can see on your screen to show how making just a few simple switches can turn that typical burger meal into a healthful one. The first thing to do is swap out that soda for a water. The sizes of drinks have gotten so large lately, this can save you up to 600 calories alone. Next, consider swapping out the fries for a side salad, or maybe even just sharing your fries with a friend. Lastly, remember, add as many vegetables to your burger as possible. And then consider trying a whole grain bun. Even just one of these simple changes can lead to healthier lives, but still please the taste buds.
There are many ways to put on a Grilling 101 program. My favorite method is the hands-on experience. Let's put to practice what they've just learned and let the participants grill their own steaks just the way they like it. This requires additional kettle grills. 4 to 5 people can cook comfortably on a kettle grill. Now remember, you're going to have to transport these grills, and at the end of class, you're going to have to empty the coals when they burn down. If you are limited to an indoor space, you can use a grilling pan or an electric skillet. Here's a list of supplies you'll need when putting on your own Grilling 101 program. You'll first need grills, instant light charcoal, lighters, tongs, foil, yellow onion, grilling spray, a demo steak, seasoning, oil, thermometers, plates and utensils, gloves, cleaning supplies, aprons, and a grilling guide. Texas Beef Council provides complimentary grilling guides, aprons, and beef thermometers for your participants. Please visit beeflovingtexans.com/resources and allow 2 weeks for your delivery. If you have any questions at any time, please feel free to email me at jerry@txbeef.org.
Now that you're ready to host your own Grilling 101, I want to encourage you to add healthy side dishes to your meal, your demo, or your participant sampling. In my experience, dishes like a quinoa salad, grilled vegetables, a fresh, beautiful green salad, or a fruit salad are crowd pleasers that help to ensure a balanced meal. In addition to the grilling resources that Jerry mentioned, Texas Beef Council offers great nutrition education pieces. Things like a healthy grocery guide, diabetes brochures in both Spanish and English, protein pantry lists, and much more. You can access all of these at beeflovingtexans.com/resources. Thanks for your time and happy grilling.